Tonight on DC News Now, we're talking about the triple-digit heat returning. Just in time for your Wednesday. How long does this stick around? When do we see some relief? That answer coming up.
He was a passionate, hardworking guy who cared about his family. And we have an opportunity to show out, and maybe in ways that we haven't before as a community.
Communities across the country demanding justice following 2 deadly ICE shootings. We're live at a local vigil with reaction from friends of the victim.
A small plane crashing in Virginia not far from a Fredericksburg airport, killing the pilot.
This plane, it sounded like a lawnmower. It was like an engine, like it was like...
Witnesses describing the terrifying moments as federal investigators arrive on scene.
Play ball. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game is underway. Grab a mitt, catch up in the excitement with our sports team in Philly.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. Let's take a live look outside right now at the heat and humidity on these final little moments of twilight. We're going to hit triple digits possibly tomorrow, and we could also be breaking some records.
All right, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jackie Lair. Looks kind of nice out there right now, but tomorrow is just... all bets are off.
Yeah, tomorrow it's one of those days you want to stay cool, stay hydrated. Talking about high temperatures. Yep, right around 100 degrees.
Wow.
And then feels like temperatures up to 105.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I know. Sorry.
Stay inside.
Exactly. Stay inside, or if you have to be outside, seek the shade as much as possible.
And hydrate.
Exactly. Do not forget that. We certainly need to do that Wednesday. Also Thursday, Friday, too. It's going to be another hazy, hot, and humid one both of those days. But it looks like Wednesday will be the hottest out of that 3-day stretch. Heat advisory has been issued. That's from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday. So keep in mind that time frame, because I would say ideally those are the hours that you do want to limit that time outside and make sure that you're staying in the AC and staying cool. So that heat advisory is for much of the area, and that is the reason, or at least the reason why, is because 105 degree heat index values. Temperatures right now, upper 70s to low to mid 80s across much of the map. So relatively warm out there. You may have noticed that hazy look to that sunset earlier this evening too. That's associated with the Canadian wildfire smoke that's in our upper atmosphere. We could see a bit more of that as we get towards the end of the week, but I'll get to that in my full weather. Let's talk about dew points though right now. Upper 60s to low to mid 70s. I mean, this is a tropical feel, and that's going to be sticking around the next few days as well. So here's a preview of the high temperatures out there for the day tomorrow. 100 degrees in DC. This could be our 5th 100-degree day of the year so far. So not only that, we could be challenging some record high temperatures tomorrow. Thursday will be a little bit tougher to beat any of those records just because they're a little bit further away from the high temperatures that we'll see Thursday. But I'll have more details on that, looking at the rest of that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Jackie, thank you. New tonight, the Trump administration ordering immigration officers to pause most traffic stops. The enforcement efforts have led to ICE agents killing 2 people within a week, a father in Houston and another man just yesterday in Maine.
And protests have erupted in both states, with people taking to the streets demanding justice.
ICE! No KKK, no fascist USA! No ICE! No KKK, no fascist USA!
This video is from Scarborough, Maine. It shows demonstrators outside an ICE facility. The victim of the shooting was from Colombia and authorized to work in the U.S. The feds say he was not the target of the immigration operation. Then just this morning, a man dies in Florida. Investigators say ICE agents had stopped the car at a gas station, and all 4 people got out and ran from officials.
That includes a 28-year-old who darted across a very busy road and was hit and killed by a tractor trailer. And this is now the 10th person killed during an encounter with immigration agents since President Trump started his mass deportation campaign last year. There are also rallies across the DMV tonight, with demonstrations demanding changes to immigration enforcement efforts. DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live in the district where there was a vigil in Northwest.
All right, so Ben, why are these deaths in Texas, Florida, and Maine resonating now outside of state lines?
Well, ICE tactics, we know, continue to be quite a polarizing issue across this country, immigrant families, non-immigrant families alike. And let's point out, we don't know all of the specifics and circumstances surrounding these recent deaths. However, they have prompted renewed outrage, but also reportedly already change. A call for change. Justice pursued after 3 people were killed following traffic stops involving ICE in the past week. One in Houston, the other in Maine. Demonstrators tonight in the Columbia Heights neighborhood hope their proximity within the nation's capital gives their voice a platform. An event promoted by the D.C. branch of the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
These people are being targeted not because of who they are or how they live their lives. They're being targeted by the countries that they come from, the way that they look.
An ICE officer shot and killed a Colombian driver in Maine Monday. New video surveillance shows the moments surrounding the death of Johan Sebastian Duran Guerrero, a 26-year-old. The Colombian embassy is sharing a statement saying they regret Johan's death and they've requested information and clarification from the Department of Homeland Security regarding the circumstances surrounding this lamentable death. Mexican national Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was shot and killed last week in Houston. Now, the AP reports the Trump administration has told ICE to hold off on most vehicle stops. Widespread protests also appeared nationwide after the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minnesota. I asked, what makes this moment different?
But I think what's special about this moment is that we have an opportunity to show out, and maybe in ways that we haven't before as a community.
And we know context is key, and I want to bring up some of the emotion behind tonight's demonstration in D.C. The district in particular has been the subject of increased policing, not just since President Trump renewed his powers back into the White House for a second term, but also because of the surge of the National Guard troops that continue to be deployed all over D.C. city streets. That's why the subject of more policing is such a hot-button issue, and discussed again tonight in Northwest. Ben Dennis, D.C. News Now.
Meanwhile, all new tonight, D.C. police releasing new video in hopes of finding the suspects who attacked and robbed the person in Southeast. You can see it here. It happened Friday night around 10:30 near South Capitol and Atlantic Streets. The suspects seen assaulting a victim and stealing their belongings. They ran off before police arrived. The victim suffered minor injuries and was treated on scene. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
Now take a look at these scenes in Maryland showing dozens of people and cars gathering to race or do tricks. You can see this car doing donuts here. Montgomery County leaders say they are dangerous and destructive, and they're proposing new legislation to stop these street takeovers. The new bill would make it illegal to coordinate or promote racing, stunt driving, or takeovers on any public streets. Community members speaking at a public hearing, sharing that they've seen drivers doing donuts, losing control. There's gunfire with people just steps away, along with broken windshields and smoke bombs.
They're not harmless entertainment. By their very nature, they encourage reckless driving and worse. We've all seen on the news the donuts, the burnouts, the people hanging onto the outsides of vehicles. Guns are brought to these events and people have been shot and killed. Street takeovers disrupt businesses, they cause chaos.
The bill now heads to a Public Safety Committee work session, which is set for October 1st. Developing tonight, we are learning the identity of a pilot who died in a small plane crash in Virginia.
State police say the 78-year-old man was from Caroline County, just north of Richmond. His single-engine plane went down this morning in Fredericksburg. That crash in the back of a John Deere dealership just across the street from the Shannon Airport.
And that's where federal investigators are, along with DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg, who's hearing from witnesses about the tragedy.
This is what's left of a Montana Coyote airplane that crashed into a tractor just after 11 a.m. Tuesday. It happened in the parking lot of a John Deere dealership off Tidewater Trail that butts up against a mobile home community where Amanda Cayley lives.
This plane, it sounded like a lawnmower. It was like an engine, like it was like, and then I heard boom, like it sounded like the lawnmower. You know when you start the lawnmower and it won't start, it's like boom, like it sounded like that.
The NTSB will determine exactly what those sounds were that caused the plane to crash in the parking lot behind me. What we do know is it's a fixed-wing, single-engine plane that was manufactured in 2024, owned and piloted by 78-year-old Roland Babcock. According to data from FlightAware, the plane took off from Shannon Airport at 10:49 a.m., headed south before looping back around. It was only in the air for 13 minutes before crashing.
It's crazy, you know. I was in my room and almost the trailer is moving. Man.
I heard people yelling, "Call 911." So I was on my porch. I called 911, and I walked over to the scene, and they were asking questions. How many? It looked like one.
Neighbors say there was no explosion, but there was smoke in the air.
Mario, he's a guy who walks back and forth. He said he saw it go like this, so it looked like he nosedived to try to avoid hitting the trailers, because it looked like it's right there on the fence.
Kaylee says it was scary to witness, and she worries it could happen again.
I don't think that they should have that airport open. I don't think that it's like safe. I don't know, maybe they should move it.
Witnesses, anyone with surveillance video or other information that could be relevant are asked to contact the NTSB. That information is on DCNewsNow.com. In Fredericksburg, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
We are continuing to follow this developing story and bring you the very latest on air and online at DCNewsNow.com. Just search plane crash.
All new in Virginia, families in Fairfax County can no longer listen in to police dispatch calls. The city police department joining the county in encrypting their radio channels. This means a feed will no longer be available through public scanners or online radio streaming services. FFXNow.com reports the county just encrypted 8 main channels used by dispatchers to communicate with officers on Monday. They announced their plans to do so back in March. The Fairfax County Fire and Rescue frequencies are still available, and according to the department, there are no plans to encrypt their primary radio channels in the future.
Maryland is upgrading its emergency drone program. Montgomery County Police say that it can now launch the technology from any of their docking stations. Now, this allows the department to deploy the robotic first responders faster. They'll be able to cover more ground, nearly tripling their range from 30 to 85 square miles. The drones will also give officers real-time information before they arrive to a scene. Now, police say the program is only for 911 calls and not for active surveillance. The problem-plagued reflecting pool remains shut down. It had to be drained again and repaired. The Bear Basin not showing, though, any large 300-yard slashes that President Trump has repeated as the cause of the damage, which would be the length of 3 football fields. While police have arrested or ticketed several people accused of vandalizing the iconic site, critics allege the damage is from shoddy or rushed repair work. The $14 million no-bid contract had crews painting a blue coating onto the pool, but within days of the water refilling, it had also filled with green algae. Then the sealant started to peel.